Now, we want to extend our list item and give it the ability to render an icon. So here in app component, let's delete this icon and add a list item. We give it a couple of props. Title, we set it to my title, and subtitle, we set it to my subtitle. Now this component is not completely reusable because earlier we assumed that our list item always has an image. Currently we haven't supplied an image, so let's see what we get. Save. So here's our list item, but what is this space? This is the placeholder for our image. So if we don't supply an image, we don't want to have this space over here. Let's fix that real quick. So here in list item, down below, we have defined the styles for our image. We have a width of 70 pixels. That is the reason why we have that extra space. So where are we rendering the image? Over here. We should change this code and render the image component only if we have the image prop. So we wrap this line with braces and then type image and just a basic conditional rendering technique in React. Save the changes. Take a look. The space is gone. Beautiful. So look at the props for this component. We have title, subtitle, image, and so on. To add an icon, we can introduce a few other props like icon name, icon color, icon background color, and icon size. We'll end up with 4 extra props, and this will make the interface of this component a little bit convoluted. A better approach is to introduce a single extra prop. So I'm going to add a prop here called image component. Now look at the naming convention. I have capital I and capital C here because we should set this prop to a real component. Okay. Now this is where we have our image. Just before that, we can render an icon. So we add our braces and render the image component that is passed from the outside. If we don't set this prop, image component is going to be undefined and we're not going to render anything here. With this, we can go to app.js and set image component prop to our icon component. So here we render an icon, and this is where we specify all the attributes of our icon. So we can set its name, its size, as well as its background and foreground color. We don't need to convolute the interface of this component with 4 extra props, okay? So let's render an email icon here. So save, take a look. So here's our icon, but we need some extra space after the icon. So back to our list item component. Look at the styles we have defined for our image. Here we have a margin rate of 10 pixels. We can take the same approach and define a style for our icon, and there we can apply a margin rate of 10 pixels. But that is a bit of duplication. A better approach is to remove this margin rate from here and apply a margin left to the container for these 2 text components. So here's the view or the container for our text components. I'm going to set the style to styles, the details container. Now let's implement this object. So here we set a margin left of 10 pixels. Save. Okay, here's what we get. Looks pretty good to me. Now there is one more thing we need to address here. Back to app.js. What if we don't supply a subtitle? So delete. See what happens. Here's our title. In this case, it would be nicer if this title was vertically centered. So back to our list item. Here's the details container. We want to align this component along the primary axis, which is in this case, this vertical axis. So here we set justify content to center. And then we have to go over here and conditionally render this app text component. So let's wrap this with braces and type subtitle and save the changes. Take a look. Now our title is in the center of this row. Beautiful. So our list item is ready. Next, we're going to build the account screen.